Cutting the crap with a heart of gold.
It's Ken Oath.
Simon Bridges. Now there's two words that strike fear into the motherly bosom of the Morrinsville Mop, aka Saint Jacinta, our Holy Lady of Ardern. While little Miss Cindy is busy posing and preening and expressing milk, no sugar, Simon is out there in the real world, the one with men in it. And he's talking to these men, and they've rolled up their sleeves and chewed their cud, very often sharing the same cud, because sometimes brotherhood means an exchange of bodily fluids. And no, I'm not talking here about what they get up to in Ponsonby, so don't get cute with me. One thing that Simon and the men have looked into is this whole business of climate change. And Simon came out, he said this, he said, "I don't believe there's a climate emergency." And he's right, of course, as he so often is. And it got me thinking, not about the climate, because whether it's hot or cold, you dress accordingly. It got me thinking about what I don't believe in. So I've put together a list of my strongly held disbeliefs. I don't believe in the rumours about Clark Gayford, not last year's rumours anyway. I don't believe in conspiracy theories other than the ones about JFK, the moon landing, the Twin Towers, and Bob Harvey's revelation that the CIA was involved in the death of Norman Kirk. All totally credible and proven if you only open up the Pandora's box known as the internet. And if you don't think that the UN is trying to kill white men, then listen to my podcast for 3 minutes and you'll wish you were already dead. I don't believe in democracy because it's just another word for mob rule. And what do you think of when you hear the word mob? That's right, the mongrel mob. And you don't want that mob voting, do you? I don't believe that sleep is the closest feeling to death. The book of Daniel describes the dead as those who sleep in the dust of the earth. But the dust would wake you up, wouldn't it? And I'm allergic to dust, and I don't like to think of myself sneezing 6 foot under. And I don't believe in the cult of the individual. Now, certainly I go along with Kierkegaard when he said that the crowd is untruth, the crowd being public opinion, and the way it imposes a complacent attitude with a sense of conformity. But there's nothing wrong with that, and I take pride in pandering to a complacency which borders on blind prejudice. That's the way we operate as a people, and we're the better for it. I know I am. Go ahead, caller.
Jesus, Joseph and Mary, what happened to you, Ken? Sounds like you swallowed a thesaurus. You've been taking philosophy courses at a special needs Wānanga.
Noel, look, if you must know, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts.
Oh, yes, my grandson swears by the damn things, always carping on about some podocarp or other. He likes the ones with the so-called comedians crying about their mental issues while smoking electric poo-ha, mostly American crap. Haven't actually listened to any, mind you.
You should try them, Al, and you should be listening to mine, by the way. It's a very popular one.
Oh, I had no idea you were a podcaster. When did that start?
Well, while I was recuperating from the heart attack and waiting for that farce of a trial.
Oh, that's right. You paid the little tart off, didn't you?
No, I allegedly paid her off. Legally, I can't say she was a lying, conniving so-and-so. Anyway, my foray into podcasting has actually been quite successful. I was number 3 on the Kiwi chart for a few hours last Wednesday.
Number 3. Who was number 1? I mean, no offence, but if I'm going to soil my ear holes like a desperate pleb who can't stand a second of their own company, at least I'd like to start at the top.
Well, he's a knight of the realm, actually. I'm sure you've heard of Sir Peter Leach, a.k.a. the Mad Butcher. It's just hours of him talking about sausages.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, I'm quite partial to a bit of black pudding. It's all about the girth, Ken. Firm and girthy. Are you there?
As much as I'd like to kororo with you about your love of small goods, I think we should go to the news.
Supercilious Kereru Smythe with NZR News. After their groundbreaking move to stop buying a handful of newspapers for premium customers, Air New Zealand plans to reduce waste even further by introducing long drops onto long-haul flights. The practice was common on domestic flights up until the mid-1980s, when it was discontinued amid safety concerns after weightlifter Precious McKenzie was almost sucked out of a Fokker friendship over the Wairarapa.
Go ahead.